is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 on Good Morning Indiana, a motel fire on the city's west side leaves more than 30 people displaced. We'll have a live look at the damages and tell you who's stepping up to help.
And a group of Indiana women are trying to remove the stigma and stress from that time of the month for young girls. We've got details on how Project Period is filling an urgent need.
And if you've ever wondered why your favorite foods are hated by some of your friends and family or vice versa, well, we've got the answer. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live with the science behind taste. We're all looking forward to that story here as we come upon Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday before the holiday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Meteorologist Todd Clausen here with a check at what our forecast is going to be. A quiet start to our Tuesday, but that does change.
Yeah, this evening is a lot more active compared to this morning. So y'all get to work, the kids get to school just fine here this morning. No issues there. And you can see as we go over to our precip chances, things really start to ramp up after sunset. Yes, there could be a spot shower or two in the forecast here this afternoon, but it's really after 5 o'clock and beyond that we get into that heavier and steadier rain out there. It's not a bad morning at all. Temperatures are fairly comfortable and the skies are mainly clear. That's the view off to the west from downtown. 46 right now in Martinsville. Bloomington, you're at 43 degrees, a little cooler to the north where temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s. But other than just a few fair weather clouds, no weather related issues this morning. But here's the storm system off to our west, more moisture down to the south, and this is what's heading our way. Not the snow, but the moisture, as that's what's going to bring us the rain later on this afternoon. So temperatures today, not an issue. We're dry with increasing clouds this morning, then mostly cloudy this afternoon with just a few spotty showers entering the forecast by 3 p.m. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now at your drive times coming in from the east side. A 10-minute drive right now on westbound I-70 from Post Road to I-65 at the north split. That's traveling up to speed. No delays there. Let's take a look right now to our northwest side. This is I-65 south of 38th Street, our NDOT traffic camera in that area. You can see the roads are open. Everything's pretty quiet here on the northwest side. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays that may change up your Tuesday commute. And of course, we'll keep you updated.
More than 24 people were forced to evacuate overnight after a motel caught fire. This happened at the Catalina Motel on West Washington Street near Girls School Road. Crews tell us the fire broke out around 8 last night and flames could be seen shooting from the motel's attic. 31 people were displaced, but thankfully there have not been any reports of injuries. This morning, the Red Cross is helping find shelter for those in need.
People know him because of his kind heart. They know of him because of his dedication. They know Philip because Philip cares. We may encounter each other on the athletic fields and everything and have a rivalry, but when it all ends, we care about each other.
A southern Indiana school community is mourning the loss of a beloved football coach. The West Washington School Corporation says Coach Philip Bozeman died yesterday after donating organs. He had a stroke Friday during that semi-state game at Lutheran High School in Indianapolis. Classes at West Washington are canceled today. A walk is scheduled for Wednesday at St. Vincent Hospital. Funeral services are set for Saturday.
A group of local women are stepping up to fill a vital need, making sure girls have the necessary products to stay healthy and stay in class. We first told you about Project Period Monday. Since 2017, the organization of 6 women have been distributing pads, tampons, wipes, and even carrying bags to schools in downtown Indianapolis, Franklin, and Perry Townships and Decatur Central. They also make deliveries to homeless and youth shelters. The group is not only giving girls and young women access to the much-needed items, but it is also helping to normalize period talk.
It's a bigger problem than anyone could ever imagine. We were learning that girls were missing school, and these girls already have enough things to worry about.
Just like everything else that happens to our bodies, it's natural, we can't help it, and it should be something that we can talk about.
Right now, the shelves of Project Period storage units are well stocked thanks to a partnership with Alliance Period Supplies and You by Kotex. You can find out more about this story by clicking on it at theindychannel.com.
Throughout the year for period cycles, women can spend anywhere between $40 and $70. That does not include the cost of medication for cramps and extra underwear. The Indiana is one of 33 states where women pay a little more for tampons and pads. Feminine hygiene products are considered non-essential here, so sales tax does apply. Since 2017, the number of states that have this exemption have risen from 5 to 12, including our neighbors, Illinois and Ohio. According to the law and policy organization Period Equity, the state of Indiana makes almost $5 million annually in tampon tax revenue. State Representative Carrie Hamilton introduced a bill back in 2017 to try and eliminate the so-called pink tax, which includes anything that a woman needs to stay healthy during her menstrual cycle.
Here's some perspective. In Indiana, we have one of the highest pay gaps for women in the country. We also have one of the highest maternal mortality rates for women in the country. So this is something that we can do that is a small but important step to show that we care about women and mothers. So today, if you have a prescription for Propecia or Viagra, you do not pay taxes, but yet women are still paying taxes for the most basic of healthcare items.
Hamilton said she plans to try and create a tax exemption for period products during the 2020 legislative session.
Concerned about families unable to provide food for a Thanksgiving meal for their kids over the long holiday, one local school came up with the solution. Providence Cristo Rey High School is a private school on the west side meant for low-income and minority students. Yesterday, 60 families in need were provided with a full-blown Thanksgiving meal to prepare at home. And for people like Dale Illingworth, a parent, wrestling coach and substitute teacher, this helps take a lot of the burden off.
I'm widowed and now remarried, so my older kids, I've raised all of them by myself. For me, it just takes a lot of burden off of providing, and we can relax more, I guess, like calming, no more anxiety, stress is relieved.
Illingworth says it's not just about the food, but that someone cares. Providence Cristo Rey regularly works with community partners like local churches and Second Helpings. Second Helpings also provides after-school snacks to Butler Labs schools and Washington High School. If you're someone who's in need of assistance, you can find a link in our story on theindychannel.com. Be sure to click on the We Want to Receive Meals button. That's where you can also sign up to volunteer. Here at 5:07, Lauren, I love seafood, shrimp, lobster, crab, you name it. But you, however, you're not a fan. You can't stand it.
No, I draw the line at tilapia.
But why
That's
is that?
I don't know. Well, a research class at Purdue University is working to figure it out for us. And so our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what they found out so far. Kelsey, you're in the kitchen. I'm really curious to find out what this is all about.
Yeah, so as you're cooking your favorite Thanksgiving dish this week, think to yourself, why do I like this so much? Is it all in your head? Is it the way you make it, the way you eat it? Or is it your saliva? Or is it all of those things put together? That's the question the students in the Purdue Spit Lab are asking. Now, the acronym SPIT stands for Saliva, Perception, Ingestion, and Tongues. And those are all the factors these students are taking into account during their research. Assistant Professor Corey Running runs the Spit Lab, and she says her #1 goal is to make food taste good for everyone, especially their vegetables.
You know, this isn't just about having a healthy diet, it's also about the quality of your life and whether you're enjoying what you're eating.
Running says they still have a long ways to go, but so far they have found that taste is a pretty complex thing. Everything you eat can impact the way something tastes later and what you might crave later on in the day. Now, they are looking for more participants for the Spit Lab. So if you're in the West Lafayette area, you can just go to Purdue Spit Lab and sign up to be a participant. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. And if you can't wait to get into the Christmas spirit, the Indianapolis Zoo has just the thing for you.
Christmas at the Zoo is now open. This is the first year the holiday tradition is starting before Thanksgiving. It will run through December 30th, closing on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. Christmas at the Zoo is free for members and included with regular zoo admission. You can find more information, including details on how to get discounted tickets on the RTV6 app.
And for the 5th year in a row, Christmas at the Zoo has been nominated for the USA USA's Today's list of 10 best zoo lights. The zoo has finished in the top 5 3 times now, and this year they need your help to reach number 1. You can find a link to vote in this story on the RTV6 app. The contest runs through December 2nd. You can vote daily until then. And Todd, people want to know what it's looking like this week because they may be heading out to the zoo with family after the holiday.
Yeah, tonight might not be the best night to go, but there will be better nights here going forward. So just kind of pay attention to the forecast here this morning as you get going. We have no issues whatsoever. Skies are partly cloudy. Temperatures not bad, just on the cool side, with them averaging generally right around 40 degrees here throughout the duration of your morning commute. So skies are mainly clear. There's just a few fair weather clouds off to our west, though. And this is where we see some snow in parts of Nebraska. That storm system is going to head our way, but you already see the clouds starting to increase in southern Indiana. So we start off with some sunshine today. The clouds increase. A spot shower is possible this afternoon, but it's really not until after sunset tonight that we run into the issues with the steady rain. It's another mild day for us today with temperatures anywhere from 55 to 60 degrees. If you had the Storm Shield app downloaded yesterday, you would have got the alert when the National Weather Service sent it out for the high wind watch that was issued. At some point today, that's going to be broken down into either a high wind warning or a wind advisory. And if you download the Storm Shield app, it'll let you know when that happens. You can pinpoint it to your location. And as I mentioned, rain's moving in. You can control the radar. So download the Storm Shield app so you are prepared. It's completely free in your app store.
Todd, thank you. Bill Cosby is speaking publicly for the first time behind bars. Hear why the comedian expects to serve his entire sentence and why inmates are calling him the Godfather.
Sweet potatoes, stuffing, veggies, keto soup. Coming up, we've got a list of the most searched Thanksgiving side dishes, including some pretty interesting ones. Time right now is 5:11. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:14 on your Tuesday, and this is a live look at Denver, Colorado from the Earth Cam. The area is expecting 12 to 18 inches of snow. Hundreds of flights have been delayed or canceled at Denver International Airport. Winter weather advisories, watches, and warnings are in effect for more than 20 million people from California to Michigan. Todd will have more on how your travel plans may be impacted coming up in his full weather report.
A sad update this morning, the case of Anaya Blanchard. Investigators believe they found the remains of the college student who's been missing for more than a month. The 19-year-old is the stepdaughter of UFC fighter Walt Harris. She was last seen at a convenience store in Auburn, Alabama on October 23rd. Her car was found 2 days later in Montgomery. That's about an hour south from where she disappeared. Auburn police received a tip Monday, which led them to the remains.
Definitely heartbroken, just as everybody else that have followed this case. I have 3 daughters, and it's a sad day when we do this in this society today. But I just want to tell the family, hopefully she's at ease. Hopefully they'll be at ease and they feel better about what's going on because she is finally at rest and at peace. If this is, in fact, Anaya.
As of this morning, 3 men have been arrested in connection to Anaya's disappearance.
At 5:15, Bill Cosby is speaking publicly for the first time since he was sentenced to prison for sexual assault. Speaking exclusively with BlackPressUSA.com, Cosby says he expects to serve his full sentence. That's because he doesn't plan to show remorse at his parole hearing, saying he will never admit to something that he didn't do. Cosby also spent a significant amount of time discussing his life behind bars. The 82-year-old's attorney says fellow inmates call him the Godfather. Cosby has been mentoring inmates through the prison reform program, Man Up.
Some much needed rain in Australia had firefighters jumping for joy. The Leongatha Fire Brigade posted this touching video of their volunteer crew laughing and dancing as they huddled for shelter. Brush fires have ripped across the state of New South Wales and parts of Queensland for several weeks. Crews have been working around the clock battling flames that have claimed 6 lives, destroyed roughly 600 homes, and killed an estimated 1,000 koalas, virtually wiping out their habitats. But Sunday, crew spirits were lifted, saying the rain is a massive release. And here in central Indiana, we are going to get some rain later today, Todd.
Yeah, as the day progresses, rain chances increase here across central Indiana. So let's kind of break down today and tomorrow for you. 2 very different days, but both days feature weather issues for us. Today, it's the shadow showers and eventually the rain. These will kind of build in as we get into the afternoon and especially into the evening hours. And then tomorrow, it's not so much about the rain. That should move out pretty early, but it's all about the wind. And we do have this high wind watch that goes into effect tomorrow morning for virtually all of central Indiana. So again, that is the issue for tomorrow. The wind kind of picks up a little bit here throughout the day today, but the issues today, at least for travel, if you are heading from Minneapolis to Denver, everything you see there in the pink, every single one of those counties is a winter storm warning. The purple is a winter weather advisory. So if travels take you, and a lot of people head through Minneapolis and Denver to connect to other places here across the country, could have some major issues here for the day today. Closer to home, our temperatures are in the 30s and 40s this morning, so not bad as you walk out the door. You just need to have the jacket handy. And throughout the day today, it's dry for most of the day. So you hear rain in the forecast. It's not until about 2 p.m. that a few spot showers move in, but it's really from 4 o'clock onward through the evening hours that we get into the steady rainfall. And temperatures today will be into the mid to upper 50s once again. So that is good news. And we'll have sunshine here this morning once it comes up a little after 7:30 this morning. So here are the clouds increasing. Here's the snow right now back in the Denver area where it's already falling. And as we work our way throughout the day, you notice the clouds increasing. We're mainly dry with the exception of a spot shower this afternoon. But here comes the steady rainfall. This is 7 o'clock. Rain is overspreading the area. It becomes heavy at times overnight. And do not be surprised overnight tonight if you hear a rumble of thunder. And especially during the overnight hours, you'll get some very, very gusty winds as they really start to pick up. And then by the time we get to the morning commute tomorrow, most of the rain should be out of here. So it should be mainly dry for your drive tomorrow, but that's when the wind will really start to kick in. Here are your wind gusts for tomorrow, anywhere from about 40 to maybe 45 miles per hour, with those wind gusts peaking early afternoon and then starting to diminish as we head into the evening hours. And that's why that high wind watch is in effect. That will become either a high wind warning or a wind advisory from the National Weather Service at some point throughout the day today. Thanksgiving Day itself is pretty quiet, mostly cloudy, 42 degrees. Another storm system brings wind and rain on Saturday, and then as temperatures fall on Sunday, could mix in with a little bit of snow here across the area. Lauren.
Todd, thanks. No problems here in the downtown area. This is a live look at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. Traffic is moving along up to speed, as you can see. Let's take another look right now. This is up on the northeast side, the ramp system here at I-69 and I-465. Traffic is moving along smoothly through this area as well. We'll continue to keep a close eye on things and keep you updated.
You really could shoot your eye out. A new study shows eye injuries from firearms like paintball and BB guns have jumped more than 30% recently. Researchers combed through statistics from a national database on electronic injuries between 1990 and 2016. During the 26-year time period, more than 360,000 children were injured by direct contact with the guns. According to the study, BB guns accounted for more than 80% of those injuries.
All right. Well, if you live in a big city, you may want to make sure that there's a park nearby. A new study shows that living near green spaces helps you to increase your lifespan. Researchers from Lancet Planetary Health say urban dwellers who live near green spaces are less likely to die before the end of their expected lifespan. And it doesn't matter whether it's a public park, a small wooded area, or just a grassy backyard, all green spaces have the same health benefits. Scientists say living near a green space encourages physical activity, reduces noise pollution, and helps to regulate temperature.
Thanksgiving is about more than just the turkey and ham. People love their side dishes too. A map shows people are Googling some pretty interesting foods. In Texas, the most searched side dish ahead of Thanksgiving is fruit salad. People in North Dakota are Googling keto soup. And at the top of the list in Indiana is the more traditional dressing, also known as stuffing. That topped the list across the U.S. along with casseroles and veggies.
Pretty interesting. An inspiring moment caught on camera between a young girl and the CEO of Chase Bank. You can hear the powerful message from the team and why the CEO says she left feeling inspired.
And coming up at 5:30, Indianapolis Public Schools has voted to part ways with a charter school group, leaving the future of 3 Indianapolis schools uncertain. We've got reaction from the community and details on how you can voice your opinion coming up. A sweet and powerful moment caught on camera between a young African-American student and the CEO of Chase Consumer Bank at J.P. Morgan Chase. That business leader, Thasunda Duckett, was visiting the Harvard Debate Council Diversity Project classroom in Atlanta Saturday when 15-year-old Chloe Woods delivered this message to Duckett.
You're the CEO of Chase. Like, that's my bank. I have like, oh my God. And it's just amazing to see that you look like me and you're able to do that and have that impact. So thank you.
Oh, Duckett posted that video on her LinkedIn page, writing in part, "I left inspired by our youth. My cup is full."
Very cool. Well, Dancing with the Stars has crowned its season 28 champion. Last night's finale kicked off with the remaining cast opening the night to Donna Summer's Last Dance. And then the final four repeated the past routines. There was also a reunion routine with the original 12 castmates dancing to a live performance by Neo and Pitbull. Later, Cher performed her classic hit, The Beat Goes On. In the end, Bachelorettes Hannah Brown and her pro dancer partner Alan Burston took home the Mirrorball Trophy. All the finalists will make a special appearance on Good Morning America today. I'm not surprised she won. I thought she looked like a natural.
And after the way her season of The Bachelorette ended, good for her.
Good for her. I'm glad one of the shows worked out for her.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Todd, how's our weather going to work out for us today?
You know, it's not bad today. We'll start off dry with even some sunshine to start the day, but as the day goes on, we will start to see the clouds increase with temperatures in the 40-degree range here throughout the morning drive. Eventually, we're up into the 50s. The problem is later on this afternoon and this evening, some spotty showers will be possible this afternoon. Turns into a steady rainfall this evening, so if you have evening plans, you definitely need to have the rain gear handy. And then tomorrow becomes a very windy day. More on that in your Thanksgiving forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:27.
Day at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, the future of 3 Indianapolis schools is hanging in the balance. What teachers and family are urging the state board to decide over their charters.
And investigators are trying to figure out how a woman's debit card got skimmed in Zionsville, what police say you can do to protect your money. But first here, it is Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We got to look at today's forecast.
Yeah, a lot of people might be hitting the roads or heading to the airport for their holiday travels. Todd Klassen is standing by with what we can expect.
You know, there's going to be a lot of moving parts in this forecast over the next 24 to 36 hours. It's quiet right now. That is the good news. And we'll even have some sunshine. So your morning checklist features the sunglasses, the jacket, and your outdoor workout is good to go. If I was going to show you this later on this evening, and as Kevin will tell you, you will need to trade the sunglasses for the umbrella. But you do not have to carry the umbrella around all day today. It's this evening after sunset that the rain starts to make its way into the area. 30s and 40s this morning. Temperature's not bad. 47 in Martinsville, 40 in Tipton, a little cooler to the north. 35 is the current temperature up in Peru. So we have a mainly clear sky now, just a few fair weather clouds. All the precipitation is off to our west, but some big time snows taking place in Colorado here this morning, and that's the moisture that's going to head our way. But with temperatures today climbing all the way into the mid 50s, it's going to be all rain for us. No threat of any snow. So it's just a spot shower or two by the time we get to 2 o'clock, and then look for steady rain to develop this evening. Again, with those high temperatures right around 56 to 57 degrees. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you. The morning commute is moving along up to speed here in the downtown area. I-65, a live look near Fletcher Avenue between the north and south splits. No issues to slow you down. Taking a look at our map right now, some drive times as you're heading in along westbound I-74. It's a 5-minute commute from Acton Road to I-465. No issues there. So let's take a turn up to the northeast side. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-69 and the I-465 ramp system. You can see lots of headlights up that way. Traffic starting to pick up on that side of town, but it is traveling up to speed.
The future of 3 Indianapolis schools is uncertain after Indianapolis Public Schools voted to part ways with a charter school group. Emmendon Elementary, Middle, and Thomas Carr Howe and Emmerich Emanuel High were all struggling back in 2012 when the state took over to turn things around. Charter Schools USA was put in charge to help with that, but now IPS wants to take the schools back. In the coming weeks, the state board is set to decide who will be in charge of these local schools. Monday night, families and teachers met at a public hearing to voice their opinions.
I just really hope that the board recognizes what we're trying to do and gives us a chance to keep doing it.
While we have the utmost respect for the educators and the staff here, we have major issues with the administration, with the management.
If you missed the meeting, public comments can be submitted online to the Indiana State Charter Schools Board until Friday. You can find their contact information in this story on the RTV6 app.
It's 5:33. Investigators are trying to figure out how a woman's debit card was skimmed somewhere in Zionsville. Lindsay Maldonado says that her debit card was declined over the weekend, and when she checked the balance, her account was cleared out. She says her card was never lost, but she thinks someone stole her card information by using a skimmer. Officials can't say where the skimmer might have been located, but when Lindsay posted about this situation on Facebook, at least 7 other people from Zionsville said that they also caught suspicious activity on their cards.
Very surprised, just because it all happened like within a week or so of each other, so it makes you think that there's someone targeting like this area.
Card skimmers are often found on gas pumps. Zionsville police say to make sure that you always use a well-lit gas station and an ATM with security cameras. You can also use a credit card if you're concerned to avoid getting thieves access to your checking account. Police also recommend checking your account statements regularly.
A Fortune 500 company based in central Indiana plans to eliminate thousands of jobs. Cummins says it will cut its global workforce by approximately 2,000 people by early next year. The engine maker says demand has dropped faster than expected. Cummins is headquartered in Columbus with about 62,000 employees worldwide. Around 10,000 work here in Indiana. This morning, we have a big alert for downtown drivers. Next week, Illinois Street will close between McCarty and South Streets. Citizens Energy Group will complete construction work on the Lower Pogues Run Tunnel, which is part of the Dig Indy Tunnel system. Citizens Energy says it will begin on or after December 2nd and last until July. Detour signs will be in place to help you get around.
It is 5:35. An Indianapolis couple is giving back to the community, donating 25 Thanksgiving meals to families who might otherwise go without a feast this Thursday. Shireen and Jomo Cole credit each other with seeing a need in the community and forming a solution with a Thanksgiving food giveaway. The Coles are serving the Near East Side community of Center Township, which is home to many IPS students who qualify for free and reduced lunches. They also say the cost is often too large and the Thanksgiving feast is too expensive for many Indianapolis families.
A lot of them told me stories like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a mother, and everybody come to my house, and I got all these grandkids, and I got $15 in food stamps plus $1. I was like, what? That ain't even the price of a turkey. Well, in an annual survey, Farm Bureau estimates a Thanksgiving meal will cost families $48.91 this year.
Thanksgiving dinner is perhaps one of the biggest meals most of us have throughout the year.
Yeah, and with so many different items on the menu, you may wonder why your loved ones will pick one thing and another person can't stand it. Well, our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with more on the study done by Purdue University that's trying to explain why we all taste food differently. Kelsey, I think this is going to be a big talker at the Thanksgiving Day table.
Definitely. So if you're having coffee this morning or maybe you're having breakfast, what these students at Purdue are finding is whatever you eat in the morning or throughout your day is going to change the way things taste later on and what you crave.
So my research is all about saliva, perception, ingestion, and tongues, which is why we call it the Spit Lab.
Corey Running is an assistant professor at Purdue University. The students in her Spit Lab are working to find out why we experience food the way we do.
And so we study things like how you experience that food, what you think about that food, how you eat that food, and also how it is biochemically broken down in your mouth. That's the spit part.
Each student in her lab gets to conduct their own experiment. Sophomore Madeline Harper is working to combine 2 sciences in her experiment.
Biology and psychology to figure out the patterns of why people like to eat what they eat.
Harper is making different solutions and having the participants answer questions about the taste verbally and electronically to see if their answers differ.
It's helped me realize how much science goes into basic things like eating and perceiving the flavors of the things that we eat. And I just think that's really interesting.
Running says, based on the results they've gotten so far, the way we taste food is pretty complex.
What you eat can actually change your saliva. And those changes in your saliva could then in turn influence the flavor of what you're eating, which means it's a circle. It comes back. So what you ate changed the flavor of what you ate, and that's going to change your spit in ways that changes the flavor of what you ate, and that might change what you decide to eat. And so it gets to be a complex relationship.
So an interesting experiment you can do maybe after Thanksgiving dinner is if you have a pudding cup, Running actually spit in a pudding cup, and her spit changed the consistency of that pudding, and it was kind of insane to see. But they are also looking for people to participate in the Spit Lab. You can just Google Purdue Spit Lab or visit this story on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, Kelsey, thanks so much. The Indiana Fever will have new leadership this season. They are set to name their new head coach this morning. The team fired their previous head coach, Pokey Chapman, in September after a 13-21 losing season. A press conference is scheduled for 11 this morning to make the announcement. When the 2020 Fever season begins, the new coach will not be on the sidelines at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. However, the team will be playing home games in 2020 and part of 2021 at Butler's Hinkle Fieldhouse as Bankers Life undergoes a major renovation.
We do have some bad news for the Colts this morning. Tight end Eric Ebron is out for the season with an ankle injury, and it needs surgery. So far this season, he's played in all 11 games, scoring 3 touchdowns. The Colts have signed Ross Travis to fill his spot. Here at 5:39, as kids are heading out to the bus stop, Todd, a lot of them their last day of school for the week.
Right.
What can they expect?
You know, it's a pretty quiet morning for them as they head off to school. And when they come home, it still should be fairly quiet. 38 degrees this morning with a mainly clear sky. And then as the kids come home from school, things will start to change at this point. For one, the clouds will have increased across the area and temperatures won't be bad at all, up to 57 degrees. But by the time they come home, we're probably introducing the chance of a spot shower or two in the forecast as moisture starts to stream up from the south. And then this area of low pressure bringing snow to Denver, that will start to head in our direction as well. For us, though, it will be all rain. So our rain chances are pretty high for the day today, but they're all mainly this evening. And then tomorrow they linger just in the morning. Thursday is dry for us on Thanksgiving. Rain chances ramp up late in the day on Friday, and then Saturday is another potentially wet day. So it's very active leading up to and then after Thanksgiving. We'll lay it all out for you coming up in your 7-day planning forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, a winter storm is already causing problems for thousands of holiday travelers. How the severe weather could affect your Thanksgiving plans.
And McDonald's has reached a settlement after being accused of underpaying its workers. The claims being made by thousands against the fast food chain.
And we want to give you a live look right now at traffic, where it's picking up this morning here on the northeast side, I-465 and I-69. You can see traffic is still traveling up to speed. No delays or construction to slow you down, but we'll continue to keep a close eye on things and keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stick around.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
A major storm is causing Thanksgiving travel troubles for millions of Americans. More than a foot of snow is expected in the Rockies before the storm moves into the Midwest. ABC's Kenneth Moten has more.
Overnight, whiteout conditions near Denver as a major storm slams the Rockies. More than a foot of snow is possible just as the Thanksgiving travel rush begins. Denver's airport is expecting nearly 200,000 travelers today alone. A record 31.6 million passengers are expected to fly nationwide over the holiday.
It's the double whammy. We have weather coming and then the holiday.
The snow will spread from Colorado to the Midwest today, where people are preparing for Thanksgiving dinner early.
I've got chains for my car. So
we have plenty of wine.
Lots of wine, yeah, and a bulldozer.
Sounds like you're set.
I think so.
Meanwhile, overnight on the West Coast.
As you can see, the fires crossed 154, and now it's going down this canyon.
This wind-fueled wildfire forcing more evacuations near Santa Barbara, just as a storm being called historic and unprecedented takes shape in the Pacific. Hurricane-force winds will batter the Northern California and Oregon coastlines beginning tonight. In Central California, a dust storm is being blamed for this chain reaction crash. And back east in New York, Rehearsals now underway for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But the big question remains, will the famous balloons be grounded? Wind gusts are expected to reach 40 miles per hour Thursday, which would be enough to ground them for the first time since 1971. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
And the wind they'll be dealing with in New York on Thanksgiving Day, we will be dealing with yesterday. But let's go back to what's happening right now. First, you saw the pictures out of Denver with the snow. All these counties you see in pink are winter storm warnings. The purple are winter weather advisories. And then here in central Indiana, this is wind issues through Chicago and Indianapolis. But Minneapolis, a big connection point for Delta, obviously. And Denver, United, and Frontier and Southwest. So make sure you check with your airlines, or if you're traveling north or west via car, certainly know that you will be running into some issues here. So let's show you the big picture if you're traveling. Here's the snow in Denver. Watch how this system starts to make its way out into the northern plains. And there's the snow in Minneapolis. Chicago, Indianapolis, just rain here throughout the day today and into tomorrow. But then there's even a stronger storm that's coming on shore in California. So it's going to be rain and snow in California up through Oregon. And this rain actually could even make it down into the Los Angeles and Las Vegas area. And then the middle half of the country for tomorrow is going to be pretty quiet. Some issues in the northeast with that storm system with rain and wind. And then as we fast forward here Thursday into Thanksgiving Day, it's pretty quiet here from Chicago to Minneapolis, but this storm system will eventually bring rain to our forecast as we get into the weekend. So it's a very, very active pattern here, not only locally, but across the country, unfortunately, for this big travel week and the holiday itself. 30s and 40s right now across the area. Not bad at all. Temperature-wise for this time of year, you need the jacket, but skies are clear. We'll have a little bit of sunshine here this morning before the clouds start to increase, and you can already see them increasing there in southern Indiana. Here's the snow in Denver. That'll be rain for us here as we get into the evening hours tonight. So we're dry throughout much of the day with the skies becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon, and there could be a hit or miss shower throughout the afternoon hours, but nothing major. It's not until after sunset that the steady rain moves in. Here we are at 7:30. We'll walk you through this hour by hour. The rain becomes pretty heavy at times late tonight and throughout the overnight hours, with maybe even a line of thunderstorms developing overnight. Something to keep an eye on with some gusty winds. Don't be shocked too if you hear that rumble of thunder as this moves through. But most of the rain should be out of here by time we get to the morning commute tomorrow. So the rain is during the hours after sunset and before sunrise tomorrow. So it times out pretty well for us. The issue tomorrow, not so much the precipitation if you're traveling for Thanksgiving. It is going to be the wind. The wind picks up tomorrow. We're looking at gusts anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour. The high wind watch that is out currently for the day tomorrow. That'll either become a wind advisory or a high wind warning at some point today from the National Weather Service. There's the quiet weather over Thanksgiving. And then as we work our way into next weekend, looks a little wet for the Old Oaken Bucket game up there at Purdue on Saturday with wind and 55 degrees and rain, and then falling temperatures could change some of that rain over to snow on Sunday. Lauren?
All right, Todd. Well, we do want to take a look at your commute right now as you're heading out on this Tuesday. It's not very busy out there right now, so that is good news if you're heading out early to start your Tuesday. It's a 20-minute drive southbound from the Whitestown area, State Road 267, down to the north split there in downtown, so no problems there. Let's take a live look at it right now. I-65 and I-70 at the north split. You can see some headlights moving across your screen. We'll keep an eye out for any crashes or delays.
Right now, White House officials are working on a public report outlining the president's impeachment hearing. It will help determine whether President Trump is guilty of withholding $400 million in aid from Ukraine to investigate Democratic rival Joe Biden. After days of testimony, political analysts say Democrats are poised to vote for Trump's impeachment, while Republicans will stand with him. The report is expected to be released as soon as next week.
McDonald's has agreed to pay $26 million to settle a dispute over accusations that it underpaid staff. Some California workers sued the company in 2013, accusing McDonald's of not giving overtime pay and denying timely breaks. The class action suit represents about 38,000 people. In addition to the multi-million-dollar settlement, McDonald's says it will also train employees at California locations about their employee rights.
A 5-year-old boy thrown off a balcony this spring has made a miraculous recovery. Landon was at the Mall of America in Minnesota with his mom when police say Emmanuel Aranda picked him up and threw him over the third-story railing. Landon was in the hospital for months and went through extensive visit physical therapy. He is now back in school and walking. The family-run GoFundMe account for Landon has been keeping folks updated on his progress. Aranda was sentenced to 19 years in prison.
People in Mississippi no longer have to cross state lines in order to play the lottery. Scratch-off tickets are now on sale in the entire state of Mississippi. Next year, people there will also be able to buy Powerball and Mega Millions tickets. The state didn't have lottery for years because of strong opposition from churches. Legislation passed back in 2018 changed that. But they weren't the only ones without a lottery. Alabama, Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada, and Utah still do not have a lottery.
Despite the failure in its unbreakable windows, Tesla has already racked up thousands of pre-orders on its electric Cybertruck. Elon Musk announced on Twitter that the electric version already has 200,000 orders. The Cybertruck starts at just under $40,000, but most pre-orders are more expensive. Production does not begin until 2021, so it gives Tesla some time to work things out. During its unveiling, Musk attempted to demonstrate the truck's durability, but its supposedly unbreakable windows shattered when struck by a metal ball.
Bread or butter? After the break, only one turkey will be pardoned, and you can help decide who. It is 5:52 on your Tuesday. We'll be right back.
1,000-mile warranty at Honda of Fishers.
Thanksgiving at the White House is for the birds today. President Trump will pardon one of two turkeys later this afternoon, and he's leaving it up to the public. A vote is now up on Twitter to see if the turkey named Bread or another named Butter will be named the National Thanksgiving Turkey. Both Bread and Butter were hatched on July 11th. Bread weighs 45 pounds and loves bluegrass music, cheerwine, and college basketball. Then there's Butter, weighing in at 47 pounds. He loves bagpipes, sweet potato fries, and NASCAR. Sounds like they both could be from Indiana.
Yeah.
Trump will pardon the winner during the traditional White House ceremony. After that, they will both retire to the Gobbler's Rest Farm in Virginia. I think I might have to vote for Bread because he is guaranteed gluten-free.
Oh, good one. I just like their headshots.
I just like all the carbs, so I'm taking Bread too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I think our vote is Bread.
Okay.
But I think everyone's just happy to know they're going to the farm, both of them. So,
yes.
Whew, a relief there.
Any relief in terms of our weather, Todd?
You know, yesterday was beautiful. We had the sunshine. The temperatures were in the 50s. Today we get back into the 50s. That's the good news. And most of today, at least during the daylight hours, will be dry. As you see, Storm Team 6 radar is completely quiet this morning for your commute with temperatures that are in the 40s. Our issues all come in here later tonight. Once we get past just a few spotty showers this afternoon, once we get to sunset and beyond, a steady rain develops. It becomes heavy at times this evening and into the overnight hours with even a few thunderstorms, and the wind will really start to pick up as well. So anything you want to do outdoors, the first half of the day is better with that high temperature of 57. We'll talk about windy conditions for tomorrow and your Thanksgiving forecast as well. Coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:56. Stay with us. We'll be right back.